Oh, hi. Welcome to the penultimate episode of Breath of Magic. I know I'm wrecking the theme because normally we do this a certain way, but it's the penultimate episode, so forgive me. 4 dragons preside over the 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. This we know is true.
It's my turn, but I don't have my doc open.
Here, I'll put it in Zoom real quick for you.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. It's NPC Bree, fucking up the thing really early. The 4 created 20 dragons of earth and sky, and each of the 4 became part of the world. This we know is true.
The dragon of spring became the wind of magic. The dragon of summer became the sun called Yor. The dragon of fall became the colors of emotion. And the dragon of winter became the moon called Badra. This we know is true.
20 dragons were gifted with dominion over land and sky. This we know is true.
And in turn shaped the land, water, sky, and weather. This we know is true.
Even now, the world is protected by the 4 and the 20. This we know is true. And with that, I'll give it to the very lovely Alice for her opening thing she does.
Oh, hi. Hello, everybody. We are back with a penultimate episode with Breath of Magic. Please check out the links coming up in chat right now. We have a Discord. Please head over there. We have a channel purely for this game. We'd love to hear what you think. Also, it's, as I said, it's the penultimate episode. We are coming up to the next season as well. So if you would like a game, please drop Scrat a DM. We have so many D&D viewer games coming up next season, and we would love to for you to come and play. If you've missed out on anything, please head over to YouTube. All of our shows are in playlists where you can catch up. A huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Hero Forge. They have smashed way past the 2 million goal right now. It's going insane. And me personally, being Harper, we're so close to unlocking the Fox familiars. So I'm just like, but there's so much more that is going to be revealed as those goals get hit. Also, a huge thank you to Magehand Press, who created Dark Matter, one of my favorite things in the world. If you love D&D and you love space, you smush them together and it is a wonderful thing. So please go check that out. It is now in hard copy. And also, certainly, last but not least, the Deck of Many, with the Deck of Many things and the moving magic spell cards. And also another very wholesome game, Humblewood, where you play little woodland critters, which I've been told we are having a campaign in next season. Otherwise, I'll hand back over to the very lovely Mal. Oh, hi.
Come on, Zoom, unmute. All right, so as we've stated a couple times, this is the penultimate episode. There's only one episode left. This season has gone so fast, and I'm a little sad because I loved playing with all of these amazing people every week. Let's get into our player and character introductions, starting with the always lovely Bree.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. I guess time zones are funny like that. It's NPC Bree. I'm so excited to get into this the second to last episode. I hate that word. I'm playing Scout. She is a young teenager on her first grand adventure. She has managed to con 3 separate adults who live 3 very separate lives to keep her alive on this adventure. She is playing matchmaker. She's playing superhero. She's riding dragons. She might have magic or a magic stick. Who knows? Scout doesn't. That's for fucking sure. But yeah, I'm so excited to get into this and see what the hell happens.
All right, and that brings us to the always lovely Todd, who's back from his trip.
Oh, hello, everybody. It is good to be home from this dreadful trip, but we're home. We're excited on the second to last episode with these lovely folks. I adore playing these games. I play Galaran. The more I thought about it, the more I guess he's more like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. He put aside his nobility to do something else, and maybe he's going to turn, or maybe he's going to abandon everybody. But that's it. Very excited to get going. I love this game. It's sad that it's coming to an end.
And that brings us to the always lovely Anik.
Oh, hello. My name is Anik. You can find me on Twitter at Anikster. And I am playing Juniper, who is getting braver, but still not convinced the adventuring life is for her. And I'm very excited to see where this story takes us, as sad as I am that it's almost ending. I travel with a whole troop of animals, although I left quite a lot of them with Scout last time, so it'll be interesting to see how Scout manages my zoo as she rejoins us.
And of course, we go back around to the always lovely Alice.
Oh, hi, that's me. Hello, I'm Alice, also White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. And Mal, I know you're here, but I've remembered I have a Patreon, everyone, and there's some new stuff coming out this week and next week, so I'm very, very excited for that. Also, I am the DM for Genera and some of the other shows on the channel, and I'm also a player, as you can see. Again, getting ready for next season. I will not just be DMing on this channel, but I will be on some others as well. Otherwise, I play Harper and Kit. Kit is technically my familiar, as my cat completely destroys my stuff in the background. Harper is a bit of a lone traveler, but she's, as much as she's awkward and nervous, she's very happy to sort of have this group of people with her. Doesn't like the big gooey things though that seem to be chasing us.
I like how it's just got, but Hans started it, and then I did it in both Genera and here, and all it takes is seeing me to remember
I know,
now.
It's literally seeing your face. I'm like, I have a Patreon. Yes.
If that's my lasting legacy, I'm okay. I'm Mal. You can find me on this channel in Alice's Amazing Doors of Genera game. I don't know if I'm going to be in anything else next season yet, but I will be there. And I have, next week is the finale for the seasons here, and next week is also the finale in my game on Off the Table, where you can come see me play a dumbass pirate who's not very good at being a bad person, which really feels a lot like me. I don't know. Being a bad person is hard. Don't do it. With that, I guess we'll jump right into the recap. Now I'm all shaky, everyone. Nerves. All right. Galaran, Harper, and Juniper leave Scout and the animals behind and head into Bronze Crossing amidst the fighting, certain that whatever is going on is part of what they've been experiencing. When they arrive, the city, while still under attack, is in shambles. The elevator system known as the Basket is broken, and they're forced to descend by hand. Luckily, Galaran remembers he has a potion, and it allows him to levitate. The three of them cling together, Juniper helping to guide them down the track of the basket as they float. They find the basket itself stuck halfway with the family inside, and after a short discussion, promise to send help. When they reach the city, people are scrambling everywhere, and there seems to be little resistance. The few guards are in disarray, and Galaran takes charge of them to try and get things better in hand. Harper and Juniper discuss what could be going on if the Dark One was already in the city, and Juniper tells a story of how her kids broke a window and, to draw attention away from it, set fire to a barn. So the pair follow a man in a white and gold masquerade mask to find this broken window. Harper realizes it's not a person and is horrified by what she sees. Excuse me while I cough. Before it can do anything, they manage to use magic to make it fall asleep. During this time, Galaran has been attempting to find and rally as many guards as he can to help the city rescue civilians and deal with this person Harper found. Galaran starts to issue orders to the two guards that he dragged with him down the alley, and as he does, their eyes go wide. As the group tries to figure out what to do next, the blob man wakes up and gloops out of Harper's arms, and the group readies themselves for a fight. Now, I believe we had all our initiative from last week. Where do I want to write this note down?
Yes, I remember that nat one.
I'm gonna go to Anik's amazing recap that she has too, because she has it written down easily for me to reference. I love when players make life easy for me. I appreciate it so much, Anik. So I'm going to copy it into Zoom chat for everyone. So there's our... All right.
Yeah, I didn't know what to call it, so it just went blob.
I mean, I showed you the picture in the Discord, right? It's
Yeah.
totally...
It's totally
I
blob
stole
man.
it exactly from Howl's Moving Castle. It's that blob dude in the white mask with the big nose and the suit. Like, that's what it is. But I think we need our fight music. Where's my fight music? Which one is that? This one? Yes. Cool. All right, so let's see. You're standing amidst the rubble. There's still fighting going on overhead. The cannons are firing. The magic is firing off the Leviathans. You're in this alleyway. Harper and Juniper are closest to the blob man who is now standing. Galaran is a little further away with the two guards. Granted, with Ryutama fighting system, that doesn't entirely matter. So let's set up the items we have in that we can use for this combat. And we'll just go through initiative order to set those items up. Juniper.
Well, we were in an alleyway and there was a lot of fighting, so I think there's a nice sturdy piece of wood that looks easily grabbable.
Okay. Harper.
If this is sort of a working city, are there any like empty barrels and things like that? Like not necessarily so that you can pick them up and fling them, but like kick them over and do that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
they're totally. Galaran.
I would say from all the fighting and the battering, perhaps in the alleyway, the upper decks of these buildings have been shaken a little bit, and there is some very loose debris above our heads.
Okay. And Scout, I know you're not here, but what's another item that might be in this fight?
So as items go, is it like an inanimate object or?
Yeah, you don't throw.
It's it's
A
anything.
citizen.
probably,
I
like,
need your
rats
assistance,
there.
citizen.
There are probably rats there. Can I say rats? Can my rats be my item? Because I'm not
Sure,
there.
a
I would say
rat can
rats.
be your item.
Rats are the item. City rats, specifically.
Place is filthy. Place to dump.
It's all the empty barrels.
Golden City, my butt.
Okay, and then what item am I gonna add?
He must be in the New York district.
Downtown Manhattan and Bronze Crossing. I'm gonna say there's a helmet lying on the ground.
+1 armor.
And I did write all these down, and I'm gonna put them in Zoom chat for everyone to reference, because that's how this is gonna work. And Juniper is first.
Alright. Ew. Shit. I've got nothing useful, I think. I'm actually pretty sure I've nothing useful. Can I just start... I don't know how movement works. Can I just sort of back away from the blob person?
Yeah, I mean, Ryutama fighting is, if you kind of... The one time we did it, I sort of imagine it's like Final Fantasy, where the scene switches and you're all kind of in a line.
I saw
And
the battlefield picture in the book.
So yeah, if you want to move into the back row, I'll double check what that means, but that is a thing that can happen, because there's like a front row and a back row.
Yeah, all my spells are arranged, basically, so I think I'll be happy in the back row. So, can I grab the piece of wood while I'm moving?
Totally.
Great. Grab a piece of wood, get to the back row, which is basically translating to not quite, but semi-hiding behind Galaran. Going, Galaran! Look! It's awake! Get it! Get it, get it, get it, get it! I'm so brave. Hate fighting.
And then we'll move on to Harper's turn. Will I double check what moving into the back row does?
I think Harper sort of sees this thing and half panics, and she knocks over one of these barrels and she kicks it with her foot to sort of roll it down this street towards it. Trying to, she doesn't know how they work, so she's either trying to knock them over or just sort of push it into them, to whether it's a distraction or it's actually going to hurt them. She sort of takes her foot and just kicks it towards it as hard as she can.
Okay. I think we'll just resolve this with a combat roll.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Is it like the hard exercise one, or?
Yeah, let's do that. That works.
Yes! I know how to kick a barrel, apparently.
Okay, and then since we've only done this the one time so far, because Juniper managed to avoid the combat the one episode, so you definitely hit. So then damage is the result. Okay, so where's the damage check? I like that we haven't had a lot of combat, but also now that we're having combat, it's like, I don't remember how this works.
You don't remember. I never even knew.
I mean,
Do what you're
valid. Okay. So I guess we just need to roll a damage check. I would say maybe just roll a d6, and whatever you get is the damage you do, since you kicked the barrel.
That's damage.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. That's a good turn.
The barrel.
Okay. And then it is Galaron's turn next.
I envision Galaron just charging this thing. So I will charge and strike with my sword.
Okay.
You foul fiend.
So if
I will use one of my natural 20s. I want to hit it hard and get its attention.
okay.
Yeah!
And then you need to make the damage check.
So do I click the add critical die button and damage?
I don't really know that Ryutama does criticals the way D&D does.
There's a tab
But-
damage that says add critical die. I don't know if I do that or not.
Yeah, we'll let you do that.
Alright. I mean, I don't have to. I know matter.
Nah,
Okay.
I want you to do, you are built to fight things. You've done very little fighting. I want to let you be cool.
Alright. Here we go. Hold on. I gotta find it now. There it is. Okay, ready? Hey-ya!
9's pretty good. So Scrat's telling me in the Zoom chat that a critical hit in Ryutama does maximum possible damage of what the dice would get. So what's the max on your sword for damage?
So it's my strength plus 3. Stand by. Yeah. I don't even know where that is. Hold on. Yeah, 9. So 6 plus 3.
Okay. Okay.
Because I have 3 boxes of the great sword. I have 3 weapon pieces. That's why it's plus 3.
I think that's okay. All right, so Juniper backs away to get ready to cast a spell. Harper, unsure what to do and a little startled that the creature woke up, kicks a barrel at it, and it rolls into it, and it definitely takes the hit and does damage, but you can see it rolls into like the legs, and the legs almost just kind of sloop over it. And as it's regaining its footing, Galaran rushes up and slashes at it. And as his sword cuts through it, it just splashes onto the ground, a puddle of black that slowly dissipates. And the only thing left behind is the white mask. Or no, you already have the white mask. You took it off him. So, nothing is left behind in that case. And you've defeated the creature. The guards are standing there completely unsure what to be doing because they were in the middle of being given orders before all this happened. You know, there's still the sound of explosions above you from the cannons and the magic and everything. And what would you all like to do in this moment?
The orders were for one of them. Didn't we send one off to notify all the other guards that they're looking for people with these white masks? Wasn't there three in the engineering team?
I know that I thought you brought two in the alley, and I just couldn't remember if you managed to get your orders out the last time. Okay. So if you did say that, then yeah, the one would have left to go inform the other guards.
Everything happens so fast, but I think I said one's to go do that, and the other one's to stay in this alleyway so they know which way we went.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I think Harper was heading in the direction where, basically against the flow of people. It was because they were obviously running from something, and she assumed that those things were coming from there or heading in that direction.
All right. Would Juniper like to do anything?
No, she's just happy she doesn't have to use the piece of wood she's holding, and she's staying close to whatever the rest is doing, assuming that she'll be useful at some later point in time.
Okay.
Around for other people in weird masks, but not if that means I fall behind or lag or anything.
If Juniper's gonna keep that piece of wood, I will give you a +1 to a physical attack.
I'll hold on to it, but I think at some point she's gonna remember she does have a dagger.
2x4 is better.
2x4's got the range.
Yeah, exactly. For now, she's gonna like a comfort with. Also, at some point, she's gonna realize it's roughly. She could probably also switch her walking stick if that was her intention. She's not. She doesn't have like a battle kind of mindset. She just grabbed the first thing and went.
As we were setting up the scene of debris, I was like, okay, barrel gets knocked over, board goes over, put the rat on one side, Galaran jumps to the other side, the debris falls on the bus
through the like sludge shit, and it's like,
you're gonna build a catapult
on the inside.
You're gonna Rube Goldberg this fight.
We built the seesaw and launched rats into the debris above. I think a safe course of action at this point would be to head down this alleyway and see if we can find out where this thing was going.
Tunnels, right? Or sewers, or something that is reminiscent of what Scout described after her vision.
We need to go below the city then.
I think we look for a way down? Under? Whatever?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, so Galaran suggests you keep moving, and you can definitely start heading further in the alley, and whoever would like to try and find a way that might lead under the city can totally make a perception check for that.
Yeah, I think Harper.
Looking.
Can we, so Mal, as we do that, I'm going to tell one guard to stay right here, wait for other reinforcements to show up, because they're going to come, and look for a trail that will lead, whether I'm scratching the boards with the sword, or I'm killing rats along the way, or whatever it is, look for a trail of which way we go.
Okay. I think you kept the younger guard in the alley, so he just is standing there like, of course, yep. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, people are still stuck in the lift.
Can I just point out I'm not the one who double fumbled this time?
No, that's me. I think I think Harper went, we need to find a way to get underground, and looked up.
Yeah.
So I think she did, was like, you know, guys, I don't know what to do.
We gotta get underground.
We've got to get underground.
You know, we could have built the catapult and knocked that stuff down.
Yeah.
Like last time when I had my back to the elevator and went, elevator? I don't see an elevator.
I'm very good at rolling nat ones. It is a
So
talent
good
of mine.
It worked really well last week when you wanted to be low, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't work at everything else.
We could also just wait here for Scout to catch up.
Not to
True.
catch up.
Do we really think she stayed where she was told to stay for that long?
No. If she brings the donkey as well, like, it's gonna be.
She's currently scaling down the railroad tracks to get down here. She's actually jumping down. She's talking to the family stuck in the lift.
Imagine the scene and behind us going, do you think Scout's okay? You can see her like running across the rooftops.
Yeah,
Fighting
way
webs in
in the
sky,
background. There's
fighting the whale.
there's a tight focus on the group, and then
Fighting a
way in the
monster
background, you see
riding
this
a-
little shape.
Riding a Leviathan into the city.
Hey, what can I say? It's what I do best.
Riding dubious air creatures.
So, are you going to stay, or are you going to try and find a way
Do
down
you
to the
stay or
sewers?
do you go?
Well, I'm currently looking up at the sky, so I'll do whatever anyone wants.
I actually rolled pretty good for perception, so maybe while Harper looks up, I notice a way down.
Okay. You move further through the alley. It comes to another street. The city's still pretty chaotic. How do I want to? You see across the street at the start of another, not quite alley, but not like a main thoroughfare. There's a little building, or there's a little building connected to another building that is very reminiscent of what the basket looks like. And so you think that might be a way further down.
Harper, look!
I go, what?
No. Okay, lower. Over
What?
there. There's a thing that looks like another basket going down.
Great, and she literally just takes off because she's not used to having people with her, so she's very much a see and go person. She's like, "Good job," and then runs.
I was useful today. Let's go.
Does everyone else follow Harper then?
Yeah, I'm going. Also, not staying behind anywhere.
I've scooped up Kit and I'm running, and this fox is running in midair. You know, when you hold dogs just over like water.
The fake paddle.
Mm-hmm.
Galaran, stop playing with the guards. We lose him every time he sees a guard. He's like, I have to go talk to this man, and then we're going to talk for 5 minutes.
Someone's got to be in charge here.
Someone's gotta
There's
do
Juniper
the roll
and
call.
Harper.
Leader.
It took
There's
us
Juniper
almost
and Harper like a basket.
It took us almost a day to get here, and there were still people running in the street panicking. It took us, the city was under siege for almost a day, and people were still running around the street. That should not be happening. Like, everybody to the auditorium, everybody to the school, everybody, you know, a tornado comes. If a tornado comes to my town, people are running around the town still 5 hours later. They're literally hidden by them.
Yeah, but you don't have flying whales. You
Yeah,
never know
it was a
what's
very
gonna happen.
chaotic.
Also, Mel did say they were digging people out of rubble, so there's a fair chance they got hit, and went
Whale down.
building down.
But yes, Harper is sprinting towards this basket. And as soon as she gets to it, she's throwing herself in it if she can.
Okay.
I'll join.
So Galaran, do you go with them?
If that's the general consensus of what they want to do, I'm not going to object to it. We have people looking for guards to meet us at the alley, and we have someone stationed at the alley to show them where we came from. So that works for me.
Half of this adventure for Galaran is just following the women while he goes home.
Right. The women run around and Galaran makes sure nothing burns down in the process.
Yes.
Or
Put that
burns
down.
things
Get that
down.
out of your mouth. I'm going to
Or
turn and
the
walk away.
right things burn down. Like,
was
we're
a-
out here chasing ghosts and running down hills. And Whatever.
And Galen's like, we need organization. Ooh, basket. That was so bad for him.
Okay. So, everyone heads into the basket. The gate clasps shut, and you start to move down. And we're going to pan away a little bit. And as the basket descends, you see the camera shows more people in masks that are not people anymore, slowly walking towards where the elevator just was.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
And we're gonna go back a ways. Scout, you
Hi.
have been told to stay behind outside of town with the animals. I believe it's late afternoon at this point.
Scout by this point is probably pacing. Probably got her hands on her hips, like stretching forward, stretching back, looking at the city, looking at the animals. Am I alone?
You're alone
Completely?
except for the animals, yes. And as Scout looks towards the city, you still see the cannons firing and the Leviathans shooting magic and all that.
I'm gonna try to look for a house outside of town to leave the animals so I can go in there. Reasonable. Animals can't go in there. Scout cannot be left behind on this adventure any longer.
Okay, I don't think it's very hard for Scout to find a house to leave the animals behind in.
She'll walk up and she'll use her walking stick to knock because it's harder than her little hands. Bong, bong, bong. Hello! This is a matter of great importance! A matter of adventure and life or death!
There's no answer, and in fact, if you knock the stick on the door swings open slightly.
She's gonna peek around.
All right. It appears to be empty. It appears to have been abandoned for at least a month.
Okay, so she'll leave the animals inside. And she'll look to all of them very sternly. And she will point to Rebecca. Rebecca, it's not safe for you to go into the village. Oh wait, did Rebecca go with you?
You have the fox and the donkey.
The fox and the donkey. She'll point to the donkey then, because she trusts the donkey more than the fox. You're in charge. Don't let anything happen, and whatever you do, don't go into the village. I'll leave the walking stick with you, and she'll try and get the sword off the side that she has from her parents. She's like, I'm taking this with me. And then she'll probably find a way to try and maybe lock the door. Is it like a key or something? Or she just wants to push it so nothing walks in and steals the donkey. Though the donkey's in charge, she's unsure if the donkey is.
Ryu's a good donkey.
Yeah, but I don't want him to get kidnapped.
That's fair.
You can't really see a way to lock the door, but maybe if you just make sure it's closed all the way so it doesn't come undone at a lighter tap.
Is there a little window?
Sure.
All right, so she'll barricade the door and sneak out a window because most grown-ups don't climb in and out of windows. So she'll throw the stick out first, then she'll throw the sword out next, and then she'll scurry out the window.
Okay. So you barricade the door and you scurry out the window.
God, what if it catches on fire now? Okay, that is a Bree paranoia, not a Scout thought.
I feel like I agree that that's not Scout wouldn't bother with that kind of
Right. Scout in her mind goes, I'd be in big trouble if they got kidnapped, but like everything else, nah.
All right. What does Scout do then standing outside this little shack?
She's gonna try to adhere this heavy sword to her hip, like Galarin the adventurer, and then she's going to try and like stand up with her little walking stick, and she's just gonna like stroll into town very heroically.
All right. So this shack that you leave the animals at is closer to the edge of what the city would be than they originally left you at. So it doesn't take that much longer to get there. And as you get close, you suddenly realize it's been quiet for a while. If you look around, the Leviathans are gone. The cannons are not firing. And you approach the building that is the elevator, so Bronze Crossing is built between, a cliffside on either side, and you have to take the elevator down to where the bridge is, which is where the city itself is built. So you're on one of the edges. As you approach this building, it's now late, early evening. The sun is gone from pink to purple, and the building inside is dark.
I don't like that. I will walk towards the door because honestly, Scout probably isn't bothered. This isn't on her list of botherings. There's no ghosts and no one with red eyes. She's not afraid of the dark. It's Scout. She'll just kind of like march in there like, why are you sleeping? Let me in.
Okay, well, the door is open. You step in, and it's a set of platforms with stairs, nice guardrails along each one so that you can't accidentally fall off. You have to very purposefully fall off. And at the edge is the what's the word? The very tip of like a rail system. So it's almost like the basket, the elevator is almost like a train, but instead of running horizontal, it runs vertical.
Okay.
But there's no elevator.
So there's the stairs, and then there's a downward drop. What is in this room?
It's sort of like an old-time train station. It's like there's a couple of benches, so you've got, if you first enter, there's a platform with some benches and then stairs leading down, and then another little platform, and then another set of stairs, and at the very edge on the last platform is like a gate that would let you in to if the elevator was there. And there's no windows. It's completely open on the cliffside other than the railing.
Is there like a desk? For like passengers? Like someone would be there? It's just... Scout's gonna walk over to the ledge and like peek over to see like what she can do from here.
All right. You peer over the edge and you see this long line of track, and about halfway down, sitting slightly askew, is the basket for the elevator.
Is there anyone inside?
You can't see from here. And then all the way further below that, the rest of the way down, you see the crumbling ruins of the city below.
the tracks, does it look like there's like finger holds?
Yes, you could essentially scale it like a ladder if you would like. In fact, that's what they did last time.
Yeah, that's a scout. Actually, even better. Is there any rope around? Like emergency rope or any rope?
That would require a perception check to see.
I will roll perception with advantage.
Okay.
If I remember how to do that. Checks.
So perception is in your check.
And
then you would just roll twice.
Got it. Perception. Yeah, perception. Can I also want to use a party fumble point. Is there one? Can I steal one? I know that Harper got a double fumble.
So I think the way we've been reading it has been incorrect. I think the only time you actually crit or fumble is when it has the big word. But there is one fumble point from today.
Yeah. We had a lot last time, but they don't carry it.
Garrett's gonna steal it. Garrett's gonna steal it from all of you.
So is that makes your perception a 6 then?
A 7.
Or a 7, sorry. I can math. Yes, you find a small coil of rope in a corner, covered in dust.
Very good. How much rope? How lengthy is it?
15, 20 feet maybe?
Okay. So, in Scout's mind, it will be better if she ties that around her waist. Before she climbs down, but she's not going to tie it to anything else yet. She's not worried about her climbing ability. She's really sad that she has to leave her stick behind because she can't really adhere that anywhere. Actually, if she ties it around her waist, nah, it's not worth it. She thinks she might drop it. Yeah, no, she'll leave the stick behind. She'll be like,
okay.
I guess I can't make magic leaves ever again. Whatever. But she'll start climbing down.
Okay. I would like a... I guess I would like a hard exercise check, just to see how quickly you can go.
Nine.
All right.
Little spider monkey.
Yeah, definitely. Scout's very, very quick and agile. The only occasional trouble is just because the track is so... between each rung is a little more than Scout's height. And that's the only trouble she has, but once she gets the rhythm going, it's not that hard. And you, in short order, make your way. As you're going, the dusk turns to evening. The clear night sky, there's no clouds, but there's also no stars. There's no moon. It's very dark.
So Scout's gonna like notice this while she's walking, and she's gonna be like, wow. She's gonna make like some little comment like, the moon should like be out by now. Where is the moon? Maybe it's just taking its time. And is going to accidentally cast the spell Harvest Moon. A beautiful full moon appears in the night sky. The magic may only be used at night in an area where the sky is visible. While the spell is in effect, the weather becomes clear and the moonlight illuminates the area.
Okay.
So she's gonna do that.
Okay. So as she says this to herself, the moon appears and casts its light.
And she'll go, oh, there it is. I knew it was just taking a while. Happens some days.
All right.
Continue down.
It's another couple of minutes, but you do eventually make it to the basket. It's on the track, but it's not just stopped. It's as best you can think, it's probably damaged in some way, because instead of being straight up and down, it's awkwardly at an angle.
Is there anyone in it? Empty?
There doesn't appear to be anyone in it from where you are, but the even though the basket itself is mostly like a service elevator where it's just the mesh and you could see through it, the top is the only solid piece.
She's gonna be like, "Hello, I am an adventurer. Is there anyone stuck in the basket?"
You wait a minute, 2 minutes, and there's no response.
Okay, basket empty. Let's go. And she's gonna try and, she's gonna have to get through the basket to get down then, right? Because it's blocking.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go like over or around it.
Yeah, she's gonna try and go around it. This is the perfect time to use the rope. She's gonna tie it to the ring above it, and then she's gonna go under it because she's realistically not worried about falling. That's not in her mind. She's more worried about the basket falling while she's on it. So yeah, she'll try and climb around this basket.
Okay. You climb around the basket after securing the rope, and inside you see 3 skeletons.
Like people skeletons?
Yes.
Are they wearing any clothes?
They are wearing the tattered remains of their clothing, yes.
Oh no. So Scout's never seen a person skeleton before, so it's like a little bit of like 80s horror movie like Curiosity, like teenagers in an 80s like horror movie where they're like, I got a body to show you. And there's also that like the last time she saw a body, it had ghosts and charred remains. So her mind is kind of wheeling as she stares at these, but then she decides it's best if she just gets off this very quickly because she didn't like the undead. So she's just gonna continue on.
Okay. You manage to get under the basket and back on the rungs of the track. Are you going to undo the rope from your waist or try and get it off of
she's
where
just
you
gonna
hooked
untie
it?
it off her waist and she's just gonna go. She's not worried about falling.
Okay. It takes a bit. It's even though Scout is quick, it's a long, long way down. But you eventually make your way to the bottom, and there's a small platform and some stairs, and as you turn, you see the once majestic mechanical city of Bronze Crossing in front of you. Everything is wrecked. The buildings are in shambles. The streets are full of rubble. There are no people that you see.
She could put her hands like on her thighs and like lean forward for a minute, like kind of in a squat of I just climbed down the entire city. She's gonna breathe for a second and look around in the moonlight. Doesn't see any like lights in homes or in any buildings.
Nope.
Well, dang it. Oh, I swore. If I were an evil monster, where would I be? She looks up, doesn't see anything up. I guess down? And she's just gonna shrug and start marching through the city streets, sword on her hip, like sword on her hand on her hip, like Galaran would do. She's just trying to be cool.
Okay. I'm going to need a perception check, please.
Hey. I'm gonna just roll regular and hope for the best. All right. Perception. 6.
So you walk for a while. Everything appears empty. You don't hear anything other than your own feet on the bridge. It's a scrape of rubble occasionally as you kick something. And as you cross, as you not enter into an alley, but you cross an alley, and at the edge of your hearing, you hear, "Scout, scout, scout, scout," trail off.
From which direction?
Your left.
Well, left it is.
All right. You turn and duck down this alley. The moonlight is still illuminating, but you don't see anything that would have been able to say your name.
I guess I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know, is there like an ending? Is there any doors? Are there anything I look like I could lift up, move, or enter inside of?
A lot of the buildings still have like open doorways and stuff like that. Yeah, they're not like completely demolished.
I guess she'll try doors then, like try to enter somewhere.
Okay. You see a doorway a little ways down the alley in part of a building. The door is still there, but it's open. You push it the rest of the way open, and you look around, and this building used to be a shop of some kind, you'd guessed, based on the shelves and tables around. Everything is inside is wrecked. There's things thrown all over. And as you're looking around, again you hear "Scout, scout, scout, scout" from somewhere outside.
I didn't see anyone outside though. She's gonna sigh and she's gonna look around this room. And then she's gonna do the daring and the brave, and she's gonna pull out her sword and then walk outside holding it kind of funny and kind of heavy. She'll be like, "I am Scout, the adventurer. Who is looking for me?"
For a moment, there's no response. And then further down the alley, further into the city, you hear, "Scout, scout, scout, scout." And then after a moment, you hear, "I'm looking for you." And then silence again.
And she's gonna start walking that direction, almost with like a level of irritation. Like, I don't do well with guessing games. I never have. I only know so many people, and they're either my 3 adventuring friends that you don't sound like, or everyone from Bluefield. And people from Bluefield don't leave Bluefield very often because we're homebodies. And she's stomping as she's holding her little sword.
And you stomp down the alleys and the streets. You start to notice as you're going, the streets become littered with those white and gold masquerade masks.
Aw, that's the moment when Scout would get uncomfy. She's gonna put the sword back. It's too heavy, and she let's be real, she's not gonna fight with the sword, she's gonna run. She sheathes the sword.
All right. You wander for a while. Just when you think you don't know what you're looking for or where to go, you hear that again. "Scout, scout, scout." Always leading you further.
Well, I guess further and further Scout goes. I mean, that's not... Scout's never been on an adventure before. Someone's calling her name. They maybe need help, or... I don't know. Maybe she's gonna save the day. Who fucking knows?
Eventually you come to the center of the city, you know, because there's this large mechanical clock tower.
Mm.
And the harvest moon that's Scout unconsciously summoned has dimmed a little. It's still bright enough to see, but suddenly, as you approach this tower, it's almost like the moon illuminates a nice bright shaft. And standing in front of this tower is a figure. And that's where we'll take our break for today.
Very good.
But yes, everyone, go get a drink, go and stretch, and we're going to come back and I think fight a cult later.
Fight a cult. Fight a cult.
And of course, Scout is the one to have found the cult. So,
of course.
We'll be back in just a moment. Bye.
Welcome back. Scout, you see a figure illuminated in this beam of moonlight under this clock tower.
Very good. Tall, short, scary, non-scary. From a child's eyes, what threat level do I see about stranger danger? What's my stranger danger threat level? Like nice guy? Like that my family kind of knows well enough to like have him pick me up from school, or strange man that says he knows my family that I've never met before and says he's gonna drive me home from school.
In a van that says free candy on it.
Yeah, like where am I?
Asking you to pet his puppy.
Because I've been in both boats as a kid and I was never good at telling them either.
Well, I'm gonna have to let you decide that yourself, but standing under this clock tower, this figure you see is Harper. But it's not Harper, but it is Harper. Her hair is wrong, her eyes are wrong, but it looks like Harper.
Scout's gonna cross her arms because she doesn't know a lot about magic, but she knows this is witchcraft. She's gonna cross her arms and she's gonna stomp her little foot. And who do you think you are? He left.
Harper's voice comes out of Harper, but it's not quite right. Scout, I'm glad you're safe. Don't you recognize me?
Likely story. No, I don't. Who are you?
Scout, it's me, Harper.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna lean forward. If you're Harper, then who's your boyfriend then?
I don't have a boyfriend, Scout.
Did she say it in that tone?
I think there's a bit of that. There's the hint of that Harper exasperation comes through in that comment.
A hint. No. At that point, the thing is though, is Scout's a smart kid, but only in certain ways. And in her mind, she would know at this point, Harper would have like brain snapped at the fact that that's what I call out in the middle of a battle scene. It's not true. You do have a boyfriend. I know you do. I know you have a boyfriend. I've seen him. I know who he is. Don't you? And she's like, her arms are still firmly crossed, her feet firmly planted, and she's like leaning forward. Just tell me who you really are, Mr. Monster. Mrs. Monster, bad guy. I know that something bad is going on here. I don't know what bad thing is going on here, but this is not good. I saw skeletons. Also, I forgot to plug in my laptop. Hold on a second. My phone. It's like, hey, you're gonna die.
Harper just says, Scout, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't know why you keep saying things about my boyfriend. It was only just the four of us.
The four of us?
You, me, Juniper, Galaran, the four of us.
I mean, there were like 8 of us, actually. 9 of us, even.
I'm assuming you're referring to Juniper's animals and Kit.
Well, duh. Speaking of, where is Kit?
I think Harper looks down, and when Harper looks back up, you see her eyes are red. And this smile starts to creep across her face.
See, Scout stayed back in kind of a stranger danger distance, so she's going to take an extra step back and point her finger accusingly. I knew it! You're a bad guy from the mask people, from the dream I had.
You were always so perceptive, Scout.
Who are you?
And the voice deepens. And it becomes like the one in your vision when you put the mask on. I think you know.
She like puts her hands up. She's like, no! I don't know who you are!
They call me by many names, Scout. You've heard some of them.
Oh no, is this a school lesson? Do I have to go back to what I've learned in school? I was meant to be an adventurer, not a school person. Wait! You're the bad guy who killed all the dragon brothers and sisters, aren't you?
If that's what you want to refer to me as.
That's what our new friend said. Bad guy who killed all their brothers and sisters.
It's true that they tried to fight me. It's because of them that I took this body.
Harper's body?
Yes.
Nothing personal, but, and you know, I do love Harper. But when it comes down to taking over bodies, Galaran would have been the better option. He's got much more muscles. And Juniper's a witch. Hey!
I love how hard it is to stay in focus with Scout. She's amazing.
She's like, the big bad evil guy? I don't think so.
The big bad evil guy? I'm gonna sass him. You're right. Galaran is strong, and Juniper was a witch, but Harper was stronger. I needed Harper.
Needed? I've only been gone for like a day. Why do you keep talking in past tenses?
Look around you, Scout. Where are the people? Why is the city empty? It's been a long time.
But it's only been a day.
And this grin gets wider and wider and wider. And this unnaturally large grin spreading across the face. The mouth opens to speak again. And Scout, everything around you freezes. Not in cold, but everything
Like in
stops
time?
moving. Everything stops moving as if frozen in time.
did you do that?
The figure doesn't move.
He's frozen too? Well, they're frozen. I'm gonna pick up a piece of rubble on the ground and throw it at him.
Okay.
Don't just look at me like that, you creepy! Which will chuck us like a little rock.
Okay. You throw the rock, and about a foot after leaving your hand, it freezes. And as you're looking around and wondering what's going on, you hear footsteps from behind you. They're soft. They're not marching or running. They sound careful, purposeful.
Scout's gonna do that thing that, like, she's not gonna turn around because there's a frozen smile from, like, a horror movie behind her if she turns around. She's gonna, like, turn to her, like, left and kind of face them both at, like, an angle and back up a little bit. And while she's doing that, she's gonna say, Mima said I could save this word for very, very, very special occasions. Shit.
As you say that, Scout, a woman approaches the pair of you. She's Asian. She's got long, dark hair streaked with gray and a long blue streak in one part. And she looks at you gently. You're not supposed to be here, Scout. It's not safe.
She's gonna scowl her whole little face up. Nobody can tell me what I can and can't do anymore. The last time someone told me to stay behind, all my friends disappeared and time got all wobbly and there's skeletons laying around and that weird-faced person took Harper and you can't tell me what I can and can't do. I have a magic stick and I make leaves appear and I'm gonna stay here until I get all of my friends back because that's what adventurers do. And then one single stress tear like kind of falls down her face.
The woman approaches you slowly, her hands out. Her hands out, trying to appear gentle. She stops before she gets to you. She can tell you're upset. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, Scout. I'm here to help if I can. I can send you back to your friends. I can send you back where you belong.
But where am I now?
Well,
what did I do wrong?
You didn't do anything wrong, Scout. For you, it's the present, but for your friends, it's the future. Something's wrong, and the four of you, I think, are the only people that can fix it.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Well then, yeah, you have to take me back so I can tell Harper that she's stronger than Galaran. And that way that the scary face monster doesn't steal her body.
That's important. That is part of what needs to be done.
She's kind of really nervous, but having a cool voice in that body is just weird.
The woman smiles. Your friends need you, Scout. You need to tell them what you saw. The four of you need to try and stop the Dark One, if you can. Or this future might come to pass.
Scout, riding dragons, changing the future. This is going to be an adventure that they teach in schools. Not that I learned anything in school, but some people do. What's your name?
My name's Ivo.
Ivo. Are you from the past or from the future?
For you, it would be the future. But I am from everywhere now.
That makes no sense.
Time rarely does.
Okay. I don't want to know anymore. This is too much. Just take me back now, if I can. That's better.
Okay. Give me your hand, please.
And she'll just take it. All that like kind of stress is gone because now she's just got to go back in time. Okay.
Close your eyes.
Okay, but if this is a trick, last time someone told me to do this, they put a squirrel in my hair.
I'm not going to put a squirrel in your hair, Scout.
Good. They had babies. It was awful. Oh, Mima, it took her hours to get all that out.
I need you to focus, Scout. Focus on your friends.
Yes. Harper, Governor, Juniper, Rebecca, Kit. Okay.
And Ivo speaks words that you don't understand, but you can tell are full of magic. And you open your eyes, and it's almost like watching what you've just done, but in reverse. You see yourself back up. You see yourself go down, backwards down the alley, into the building, out of the building, back. And suddenly you find yourself at the shack with the animals, having just climbed out the window. Above you, the cannons are still firing. The Leviathans are still attacking. And we're gonna... Go ahead.
I would say, she said, because I said it in the future, it doesn't count if I say it again. Shit.
And then we're going to move our view back to the others.
I better have my own body, Mel.
I wouldn't take your agency away like that.
I will fight.
I would not take your agency away like that.
I don't mind fighting myself, like two of us. Like, aha, it's like that Spider-Man meme.
Oh god, and Galaran and I have to question you to find out which one is the real Harper.
The most awkward one.
I was about to say the one that doesn't sound chill.
All right. That's not the song I want. We'll do this. Okay. So, you descend in the elevator. You wander the tunnels that that Scout described in her vision. You're surrounded by blob men in masks. And that was a day or two ago. You're in a room together under the city somewhere.
So have we, like, is this just an empty room?
Have we seen anything more suspicious?
You haven't seen anything since they put you in this room, and it's obvious that they put you in this room and locked the door, and you're essentially imprisoned.
Yeah, great. Did we get at least fed?
You've been fed once. They took anything that obviously looked like a weapon.
I still have Kit, right? Because if not, that's good. Kit is like stuffed up my sleeve. Like,
No,
you don't
babe,
have anything.
you still have Kit.
Because Rebecca's still on a baby carrier as well.
Yes.
So we're in like a cell or just a room?
I mean, it's like a. It's a room. It's. It's like being in a plain concrete room, except that they wouldn't have concrete in Bronze Crossing. So it's like wood and metal, but it's not like a cell, but it's obviously, you know, it's a bare room.
I think Harper's been walking around just like pushing things, like trying to find anything loose. Like she's used to having to get out of things, but that's just what she'd be doing. Like if there was I'm assuming no windows.
No windows.
Yeah, she's just going around to try and find anything, whether it's something loose, whether it's something purposefully there, just anything. And is getting Kit to sort of help, like sniff around, or like she's feeling for like if there's any breeze coming from anywhere. They didn't take my book, did they?
No, they didn't take. They didn't take a book. No, they.
That's a hefty book.
For 2 days.
That's a hefty book. You kidding me? I could kill a man with that.
I mean, the limited interaction you've had with these blob people, they are not very smart. They are essentially automatons. They do what they're told. They don't really think.
Did they think my sword was a cane by any chance?
No, because as far as I've seen, you pretty much carry that around naked blades.
This
is my cane, I swear.
You were at the pride of old man of his walking stick.
Exactly that one.
Is there a door, Mal?
There is a door, yes.
What's it made out of?
It appears to be made. It appears to be made of wood and metal. Primarily metal.
Well, do we have any way to make that wood either rotted or the metal hinges loose? I'm just gonna break this door down.
So are these, it is metal, isn't it? Did you say?
Yep.
And is it hinges or does this look fixed into the door?
It's probably got hinges.
Okay. So I have a spell where I can create a blast of heat and hold it. I want to start melting these hinges, and then I'm going to sort of, if that's possible, I'm going to say to Galaran, when I say go, kick the door to see if we can just kick it straight off the hinges if I try and melt them.
Okay.
Are we going to try and break out of this place?
I don't want to stay in this room any longer.
Harper is, because Harper's now very aware it's been a day and Scout is not here.
Before we start breaking out of places, I'm gonna go over to Galaran, and I'm just gonna, Galaran, I really appreciated you putting faith in me during this trip, and I think that maybe things are gonna get a little more fighty today, especially with what Harper's gonna do to the door. So I want you to just close your eyes for a second and just really think back to a time when you were really relaxed and happy and calm. Okay? Please? It'll help you, I swear.
I was about to rage to bash this door down.
Yes,
though.
no, but this will help you before you rage.
Harper's literally at the door, like, because she's.
See Juniper's
I was like all pumped up. I'm like,
I'm like, get ready.
Think back to your favorite time you punched someone in the face. That works too. Just sometime you were happy.
Okay.
So happy.
If you were happy when you broke someone's face, that is fine. Just remember that part.
So if he's being told to remember like a happy time, he actually reaches his pocket and pulls out like a locket. He doesn't open it, but he's just squeezing it in his hand. He looks like he's tense, but he's just holding on to it as if someone's going to take it from him. And he's like, okay, Harper, tell me when.
Okay, for a game mechanics point of view, I just gave you +2 bonus to condition, which also gives you extra health.
Oh, I'm going to shoulder block this door.
Harper, like, she's realized now that after the blob person, they know she can do magic but only put people to, but she's gonna put her hands on this door, close her eyes for a minute, and then you'll probably see her hands start to glow, and you can feel the heat radiating off of them, and then it's like, at the same time as she yells go, she pushes to melt these things, and she will yell. She's not quiet, like she yells again. It's like, now for you to like hit it at the exact point that these things melt and get red hot.
Okay. The spell goes off. I'm going to need you both to make let's just stick with that hard exercise for today.
Hard exercise, okay.
I am going to use an advantage.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be in this for very longer. And I cannot find my roll 20. Stand by, let me reload it.
I got a hard exercise, I got a nat. It's not a 6, it's a 4, but it's got the little fun green box around it, that and a 3, so...
Better than the red box around
Yeah,
it.
exactly, which is what I'm usually used to rolling.
And Scout took all our fumble points, so we don't have to.
So I'm going to roll a hard exercise. Is that what you just said?
Yep.
That's in checks, I believe, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going to roll twice.
Okay.
So I'm using an advantage, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go, kids.
Yes.
I'll probably just take that one, but yeah. I hate this door.
just takes the wall off with it.
This Galarin-shaped hole in the wall, like Elliot Coyote runs through something.
Yep. So Harper, you put your hands on the metal and it starts to glow. And Galaran, when Harper yells now, she pushes and you kick, and I think what happens is, Harper, your hands actually like make that like impression in the metal, and so when it cracks off the edge, it has like the edge of your fingers shape in there. And Galaran, as you kick it, it breaks the lock on the other side, and the door just thuds out into this dark hallway.
I think her hand, she starts going, like, I think it's just trying to cool them off. That's how she cools them off. It doesn't just stop. And she sort of makes sure Kit's probably sat on her shoulder. She's like, okay, we need to get out of here. Or just find something, or find Scout. I don't know if Scout stayed where she was. Probably not, but we need to go.
Well done. Everybody.
Well done you. Like, she's looking at the door on the floor, which I'm assuming is like half bent, like, jeez.
I could not even remotely have done that without both of you. It's well done to you both. That's we need a plan of action. 1, I think, is to find our weapons. 2, and probably more important than 1, but what's happening with Scout.
By now, Scout's probably leading the cult.
And 3, we need to have faith that the soldiers are mustering some sort of reinforcements for us.
Hopefully.
That's a distant 3, by the way.
Could I check if there's anyone in here? Like, can I have a look around to see if there's any of these blob things, like, moving around down here?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
I'm on it today!
Started with a critical fumble, so this is just making up for that one.
I can see in the dark.
Go this way.
My hands still glow.
Harper can see through time.
Right there, I want to go over there.
I'm just like, oh,
Harper
hi.
can see through time. She knows everything. She sees everything.
I'm seeing it all in slow motion, you know, when Fry drinks too many coffees, and I could just, I know where everything is.
There does not appear to be any blob people in the hallway or your room that you can see.
Why is it I feel like I've wasted 2 critical successes because I can't see anyone?
I think it's over for now.
Yeah, it's like, do I get a sense of direction? So when we were put in here, did I get a sense of direction as where they took us from, or the way they brought us in?
Yeah, I think if you wanted to know the direction back out, if that's your goal, that you probably were able to keep track of that.
Can we hear anyone else down here? Is it literally just this room with us in it? Or...
It's... You can't hear anyone now, but even just looking out down either end of the hallway, it's definitely... it's like a maze of hallways. Like there's just every so many feet you can see another branch going off somewhere and stuff like that.
Okay, she's gonna start. She was like, right, we either head out the way we came, or we try to find something else. But I know we need to get. I mean, we're beneath ground now, and these things have got to be somewhere. I assume they're not congregating down in what they're effectively using as a dungeon. And she sort of looks to everyone. And it's like, back the way we came?
There must be. See if there's a side chamber to this where they might have put our weapons.
Mm.
It's been my experience from books I've read that people
from Dungeons and Dragons.
From the Dungeons and the Dragons I've experienced, that they always seem to leave the captives in the vicinity of their weapons.
It's ridiculous, really. It's implausible.
100% more effective with my weapon, so we must find it.
Can I see any other doors that I can just listen against before we open them?
Any chests, any
goblins?
kobolds, but yeah.
Okay, if there's a door like that looks like a room maybe of storage, I'm gonna go put my ear up against it, see if I can hear anything first.
Okay, yep. That you got that nice crit on your perception, so I won't make you roll again.
Why, thank you.
It does. You'd put your ear up to this door that looks like it might be a storage room, and you listen for a good long minute or two, and it appears to be empty.
I don't think Galaron's waiting the minute. He's pissed. He's kicking doors open.
Is it like I'm like, I don't think I can hear foot through the door, and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So are you gonna try and kick the door open, Galaron?
Harper's perspective is she's there and a foot
I'm gonna try to just open it. I'm gonna try to open it first. I kick it, I break my foot, and Harper's like, click.
Click, just like, you know, we could just...
Turn the knob, darling. Turn the knob.
This is how a door works.
It appears to it's locked when you try to open it.
Now I'm gonna bootleg. Yeah, now I'm gonna bootleg.
All right. Please give me another hard exercise, Galaron.
All right, now do I get +2 to this since I have conditioning +2 to the strength because of the spell she cast on me? Would that apply or no? Because it says condition is a strength check, and I'm assuming hard exercise is a strength check as well, which it is.
Well, so I think I'll give it to you, but I think based on the way Anik copied it into the Zoom that it's a +2 to your condition check specifically. but I'll give it to you.
Well, here, I'll just roll.
We're in the penultimate episode. Be a badass.
All right. Hiya!
Hiya!
I think I scream Hadouken as I do it. Hadouken!
Hadouken!
if he fails, oh my gosh, does his foot get stuck in the door? Like he goes halfway through and I'm, can I open it now? I'll go like, okay, and then can I reach through the hole he's made and unlock the door, please? With his foot still in it.
Wait a minute.
Time. Why do I feel like this is not the first time that Harper's experienced?
Harper, it happened again.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like reaching in and unlocking the door with her hands.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Just looking at them, going, I thought you guys were like professional.
Hey, we get stuff done.
The door's unlocked, isn't it?
It's open as we're like half in this door, unlocking it. Wait, before I unlock it, can I actually see the weapons in there, or is this just like a shocked prisoner on the other side?
No, it appears to be a weapon storage.
It's the family from the basket, like.
Oh no, the skeleton basket is slowly being melted into a skeleton up there.
That's true.
Y'all fucked up real bad. This is why Scout needs to be there.
Hey, we don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
But in my mind, the engineers have saved them. The army's on its way to get us. Everything's going to be fine.
Everything will be fine.
I would like to
precise instructions that shall be followed to the T.
I would like to unlock this door with Gulliran's foot still in it, please.
Yeah, you do.
It's just the image of opening the door and Gulliran hopping with it. It's like, ta-da! See, open and see all the weapons. Is there anything extra in here, like a stick?
Gulliran looks at Harper and goes, good teamwork, high five.
It's like, every time.
Yeah, there can be
more, like maybe Juniper could be a good adventure. Like if this is the level to aspire to, you know.
I stress again, we got the job done.
Gulliran turns to Juniper and goes, Juniper, without the conditioning, I could not kick the hole through this door. Precisely to our plan. Kick door opens. Done. Let's move forward. Stop arguing semantics. Be solution oriented.
I'd like to run in, and if there's any like spare weapons, and by that Harper's not a fighter. In fact, she had a dagger, but she'd quite like a stick. She wouldn't be able to lift a sword.
You can recover anything that they would have taken from you, plus like 1 or 2 extra things. That's definitely.
Okay.
Are there any books? Do I see any books?
Wow, that's characters development. Gulliran's looking for books, and I'm not.
He's looking for a gift for Harper, by the way.
Thank you for opening the door.
There aren't any books in this closet full of weapons.
Cack.
Can I have a dagger again as well?
Yes.
I'm assuming they took my 2x4.
Yes, they took the 2x4.
Is there like a crowbar anywhere? Just asking.
For future door lock.
I just feel it might help. Crowbars, trapdoors, like.
Yes, there's a crowbar.
I am taking the crowbar. I would like to take it, and it's both a weapon and another form of unlocking doors. And I sort of open my coat and start putting stuff in.
All right.
Dagger, grab him. Oh, my raccoon is never leaving. Anything else shiny in here that looks like it could be good? Any potions, vials, oils?
Yes.
That says
There's
skill cult leader.
Property of.
Curiously enough, there is a single small vial amidst everything else.
Great, pick it up. Let's go.
All right.
I'm not Scout. I'm not licking this.
I mean, I prefer you not to.
I'm assuming
Scout's job.
Now, I'm assuming since they're automatons, they didn't like put bags over us to guide us here. We know the way back up that they brought us in, correct?
I think I rolled that on perception, yeah, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't think they like hooded you or anything like that, but it's pretty dark, and was like
With
especially
my double six vision.
especially Galaran was probably unconscious because, like you said in the Zoom chat, he wouldn't have gone down without a fight.
I picture her strapped to sticks like the Ewoks and stuff.
That's probably what happened because I mean, if you've watched Howl's Moving Castle, they carry that palanquin, and it's like, so they probably did that to you.
Yeah, I'd like to start heading back down the corridor the way we came, the way they took us.
Okay. Juniper, you were asking what the potion smelled like. I can't hear you. You're not. It doesn't say you're muted, but I couldn't hear that.
It's a potion of nonsense.
Oh no, she licked it!
Get rid of it! Get rid of that, Juniper!
I told you not to lick it!
Damn it, Juniper!
Yeah.
Read the description before you drink it.
Says the man with a foot in the door.
What do you think?
It's a amber yellow potion, and you open it just enough to take a whiff of it, and it smells like fresh cut grass.
Ooh, summer in a bottle.
Yeah,
Definitely not levitation.
that's very tempting to me, being a summer magic user.
Would you like to drink it? Then I'll tell you what it does.
Lick it.
Yeah,
Okay.
down the hatch it goes.
All right.
You turn into a flower. All right.
So it.
Okay, Juniper, here we go.
I'll be like the Daisy
Thanks for your
Groot.
help.
Daisy Groot.
Take that, monster.
I am Juniper.
All right. Sorry.
It's okay, I'll pot you up if you turn into one.
Would you? That is so kind of you.
It's okay, I'll do that.
So it tastes like it smells, and everyone, as she downs this drink, the three of you see, her skin changes color slightly and becomes stiff, and plates form, but it's not stone, and
Bark skin. Oh my gosh.
it's essentially bark skin. Yes.
Look, you guys. I'm cooler
You
now.
are Groot. We are Groot. I'm so happy right now. I sort of look at like Juniper. Okay, keep going.
We don't have time for this.
All right. Papa, lead the way. You know the way.
Yeah.
And so Anik, since we don't have bark skin in Ryutama, as far as I'm aware, that would give you +1 armor. So you'd the way Ryutama works, it's essentially damage reduction. So you take 1 less harm if you get hit by something.
As the
Nice.
squishiest person in the party, I approve.
And then Harper heads back the way they came.
Mhm. I'm not trying to be like really loud, but I'm not necessarily stealthing, so I know there's no one down here.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty dark.
Look for any prisoners along the way. Any
I
other
was
doors
gonna
we
say.
should check.
Yeah, 'cause we got that down to a T.
Place holding door, open door, check.
I mean, it worked, right? That's all that matters.
I stress again, it works.
Surprisingly, there aren't that many doors. Most of them appear to be empty rooms. It's mostly a lot of long corridors with those pipes in running along, and I mean, you don't know Harper knows the way back, but you don't necessarily know how far in or down you are, and it takes a while to make any kind of feeling like you're getting anywhere. especially because the hallway, the tunnels, they all look the same. You definitely probably feel like if Harper didn't know the way to be, that you would be getting lost. Because I mean, if you walk past a tunnel and look, it's the same tunnel that you're in, just going another direction.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going until I find that door we came in by.
Fun in the scout being heralded as the new leader of the city of Bronze Crossing, whichever happens first.
Mel, did we get captured in these tunnels, or was it outside of these tunnels? The reason why I'm asking is because I did say that I was marking the walls along the way. So if we're captured in the tunnels, sooner or later we'll reach the walls that I was marking if we're going the right way, or if we weren't in the tunnel system yet, then no, we won't see that.
Thought ahead.
I think you marked, you definitely managed to mark the, like, streets above that you said you were gonna mark off, so that the guards could have known that you went to that specific elevator. Hildy. And I think because they knew you were coming at that point, that you didn't make it very far in once you got down.
Fair enough.
As you're leading the way back, you cross another, you know you need to keep going straight, Harper, but you cross another turn, and you hear something.
If she hears something, she'll stop.
You hear a voice in a long time. You can't tell what's being said, though.
Don't do it.
And do you mind? And there's a moment where I think she stops. And because it's that particular voice, she wouldn't normally do this. She runs in that direction. She wouldn't do it if it was any other voice, but this one she will.
This is how they body snatch you!
Galaron is right on her hip. Not questioning her, just right on her hip. If she
Stop
walks,
her!
she takes a breath, starts running, I just follow.
Come on, out of all of the times you buzzkill, this is the best time to do it! You don't let me keep a demon monster egg, but Harper starts running towards something in a demon cave and you let her go. This is, you know what?
That was episode 1, Scout, and I'm on a journey with my character. Thank you.
Character development.
Harper's your girlfriend.
I'm on a journey with my character. Thank
Harper's
you.
your girlfriend. She can do whatever she wants.
I even made jokes 2 episodes ago. I made jokes. You missed them.
He smiled. Episode 3.
He gave us a group hug. That was hugging.
Yeah.
Progression.
Progression.
Yeah, I'll follow, but
Yeah.
I won't be on their hips because I'm a little more concerned about what we're running towards. But I also don't want to be left alone behind.
Yeah, but you also don't know what they might be running from.
Yeah. I'm even gonna, like, run at a respectable, smart, safe distance.
Okay.
Respectable, smart, safe distance. Yeah, I don't want to run like into the voice, if you see what I mean. I want to run so that I can hear it clearly. She wouldn't
Okay.
necessarily go storming in.
Mm-hmm.
Could I hear the voice too, Mal, or no? Or could Juniper and I hear the voice too, or no?
It's it's not that you didn't hear the voice. I just don't know that it had any significance necessarily, or that you would have maybe noticed that it wasn't a sound associated with like the pipes or anything else in the vicinity.
All right.
Whereas because it's specifically something Harper recognized.
Fair enough. I just remember I had to talk with Harper. I know what we're doing in the city for her is finding somebody. So
Right.
again, that's why I don't question it.
Yeah.
If it was an egg, though, I'd kill it, Scout. If it was an egg, I'd kill it. I would destroy it.
Juniper's behind you, going, why are we ready?
Does anyone say anything about that?
I think Harper's just running.
I hate you all.
Yeah, so I think like you said, Harper's not gonna like run into anything, but you follow this voice, you hear there's a conversation happening, and it's really difficult in this tunnel system to gauge exactly where it's coming from, how far away it is, or even what's being said. But you find yourself and everyone else following you finds yourselves in front of that room that Scout described in her vision when she put the mask on. The doors are closed. They're not fancy, but they're bigger than the rest of the doors you've seen, and instead of being like a single door, it's double doors.
I think she pulls to a halt. So can I hear things on the other side of this room?
Yes.
Okay. And she looks back at the other two. It's like, okay, I know this is ridiculous, but I'm going to go in there. But don't you come in as well. If you hear anything bad, then you come in.
No, we said this.
Stop!
Well, before we went into the city, we were not splitting up.
Harper, what do you think is in that room?
I think my father's in that room.
And you think
Or whatever is left of him, or whatever this person is.
Your dad pouring tea? Wasn't he dead?
Well, that's what I thought. But apparently things aren't as simple as that.
Anyone going along?
I'm making myself dizzy.
Harper, that's dangerous.
Oh, I am actually dizzy. Oh.
Remember what I said last time? Breathe, breathe.
I'll sit back a little bit. I just went too far.
How many of the masks do we have with us? We have 2?
He is going, and she looks at him, he's going to know it's us. And I don't mean if he's good or bad, I mean he is one of the best magic users I know.
But if there's something else in there holding him, and he's not bad and he's good, Juniper and I could fool them by wearing the mask, bringing you in the room. And therefore we all stay together, and yet you still get to see your father without us interfering.
We had 2 masks, didn't we? Or did Scout have one of them? I can't remember. I think Scout had one and Juniper had one.
Anik, your mic cut out again. There we go.
Oh,
Now for some reason, the sound's coming over the speaker.
Yeah, I have the one from Timothy, we have the one from the blob, and Scout has the one from the sky.
So we have 2.
Oh, yeah. I get it. You have 2 apparently.
Papa, this is I defer to you. I trust you, but if there's any sign of danger, I'll kill it in that room. Nothing. I'm not gonna let anything hurt you. I offered an alternative plan, but I'll follow whatever plan you two want to come up with. I'm just trying to walk around these tunnels.
is there like a keyhole I can look through so I can at least get an idea? Like, or is there like a gap in the
make
door?
one.
Yeah, yeah. No!
Sorry.
We listen at the door.
Or like, is there a gap in the door or under the door or anything, just so I can at least have a look?
Yeah, I think there's probably a keyhole you could look into And I think if that's what you want to do, Harper, as you bend down to peer into this keyhole, you see your dad in this room. And then we're going to go back to Scout.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So Scout fucking books it at this point. I'm so sorry. I don't even fucking barricade the door. She doesn't grab the sword. She doesn't grab her stick. She is like hard sprinting at top speeds, like to this elevator.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take you that much longer to get to the elevator. You know the way, you already did this. And as we said earlier, that the elevator is, or the shack that you leave the animals is a lot closer to the elevator than where you were originally left with the animals when they left you there. And you come to the building with the platforms for the elevator.
And it's all still broken?
Yeah, that it's definitely very similar to the way you saw it. The main difference is it's less dusty. Like it looks the same, but it obviously looks like less time has passed. Like you can tell only the appropriate amount of time has passed this time.
So for railroad tracks, on the side of the track, is it metal or is it like wood? It's metal because it's bronze.
It's metal, yeah.
Okay. So what Scout is gonna do is sift through her little baby pockets that she has all over until she finds school chalk.
Okay.
And she is going to rub her hands with it as best as she can. And she's gonna go over to this little to the railing, and she's gonna hold onto the side and try and slide down.
Okay.
She doesn't want Harper to get eaten by the bad guy.
I think just because it works with the two statistics so well, I'm gonna have you make a travel check.
Perfect. I'm using my natural 20.
Okay. You chalk up your hands, Scout. You grab the bar, and you have your feet on the rung that's near the top. And after a breath, you slide. And even with the chalk, you can feel the burn in your hands. And with a thud, you hit the roof of the askew elevator, and it shakes and rattles.
Does anyone make noise inside?
Yes, you hear people shout.
Scout didn't think about this, like people being alive in here. She's gonna crawl around it, and actually she's gonna take this moment to re-chalk her hands because they fucking hurt. To be like, sorry, I have to save the world so you don't become skeletons in here. And then she's gonna start climbing down past them.
Okay. Scout probably doesn't pay attention to whatever they're saying because she's busy trying to save the world and her friend and make sure these people don't become skeletons, but there's a man, a woman, and a child in here. As you start to climb down, because the basket is not just holding onto the railings and going, you look down once or twice and you can see a couple of guards and a couple other people down at the bottom doing something.
She'll slide on down. Wee! And by wee, she's going, ah! All the way down.
Okay. You make it to the bottom. There are a couple of guards and a couple other people working. They appear to be trying to fix the elevator to get the people down.
Hey, have you
They're
seen...
very startled to see a child come sliding down this.
Excuse me, I'm here to save the world. Have you seen a big strong man with a sword with two ladies, a fox, and a raccoon?
I think one of the guards is probably spoken to Galaran enough to go, you mean Lord Galaran? He had the...
Yeah. No. I don't have time. You need to point me to them before a monster eats Harper's face.
What do you mean? Should someone go with you? That way!
She runs. And she just like hands
I'd like to point out in every movie, every book ever written of any story, the time a 14-year-old girl runs into a soldier and talks like that, the soldier's like, "Beat it, kid." This guy is pissing his pants. He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but in her defense, she just slid like hundreds of feet from the air on a railing. Like, the shock has to be at top tier level.
My point is, you have broken the mold, Scout. You have set writers and movie makers in the future who watch this to know that guards can take 14-year-olds serious.
Hell yeah, they can. And you know what? Sometimes teenagers are a lot scarier than guards. Normally they are. Okay, so Scout is power running in this direction.
Okay. You go tearing through the rubble of the city. It's similar but not as bad as the last time you were here. It's louder though, because the fighting above is still going on. But it does seem to finally be slowing. There are less Leviathans. One of the cannons is busted, but there's still, you know, activity. And you run through the streets, and eventually you come across a much younger guard who's standing in an alleyway.
Hey you! Have you seen Lord Galaran, the hero with the sword, with two ladies who are also very powerful? They probably didn't say their name. They're both a little nervous.
This kid who's probably honestly only a couple years older than Scout at this point. It's just like, yes, they went down this way. You can see the, yeah.
Okay. So does he like point that they're going down under?
Well, he pointed down an alley and like.
All right, she'll run that way. And she'll run. And she's moving her hands like this because they hurt still. So she's trying to like cool them down while she's running.
Okay.
And she gets tired. Good thing she runs all day long because, you know, as adult Bree thinks about how much running this kid is doing, I can't breathe. She's probably fine though. I'm getting asthma from thinking about it.
Okay. How do I want? All right, so Scout runs down where she's been directed. Multiple guards are like, just keep going that way. Do this, do that. She shouts, have you seen the person with the sword? And these two nervous women, and there's raccoon.
Nervous, she's terrified.
And, Scout, you make it to, this smaller version of the elevator that you slid down. The elevator itself appears to be at the bottom, but it does appear to be in working order, and I need you to make a perception check, please.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna use an advantage. I'm getting nervous. Can you tell? Oh, I didn't need... Ah, ha, ha, ha! Perfect score!
You can tell that Galaran left marks to inform where they had been going. And as you look around and try and figure out exactly what needs to be done, you spot the lever to call the elevator.
Okay, she pulls it quickly.
You pull hard down on the Yep.
She's bouncing.
It's one of those levers that it always goes back to center. So you pull down on it. As soon as you let go, it goes back, and you have to wait for the elevator to come up.
Harper! And she's just screaming at this point, like down in the hole. Harper!
And I think we'll leave Scout there for a minute and go back to everyone else.
Screaming somewhere in the city.
City
What else is
streets.
new, though? Okay.
The real question is, when Harper finally got down, were there still people running around looking for cover 12 hours later?
I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that. So, Harper, you look through this keyhole and you see Xander, your father. And he appears to be in conversation with a shadow that takes up most of the room.
I think she stops. Why is he in there? Why is he not doing anything? Why is he just talking? Why isn't he?
Two things.
He's not locked up. He's not locked up. He could have left at any time.
Is in the hit and cooperating to avoid his certain doom, or he's in collusion. In either case, make the plan of what you want. I'll defer to you, but I'm getting anxious just sitting around. It's time. The people are dying above. We have to do something.
And she's looks towards the door. Like in Harper's head, she literally wants to kick it down and go, "What the fuck?" Like, is what she actually wants to do. She's
Maybe
like,
you're better at kicking doors than Galaran is.
Yeah, I can kick a hole in it. I kick a hole in it. Hey, what are you
"Hey,
doing?
what the fuck?"
Dad!
Leaning to the, what the hell, Dad?
Dad, what are you doing in there? Sorry.
Can I knock on the door?
Sure. Yeah, of course you can knock on the door.
I will stop that. I will try to stop that. And like, that is probably the least best option.
Why?
I was deferring to her.
Element of surprise.
Yeah, Cora.
Nothing will give us the moment of surprise like you walking through that door. The question is do we walk in with you with the mask on, or do you walk in by?
So deferring to you if you pick one of his preferred options.
And she's at the point where she's like, she's tempted to just leave and go find Scout. And she's like, it might not even be him.
You're right. 5, 4, 3.
Could I just
2.
open the door?
Yeah, you can open the door.
Does she open the door? Because I'm at 1 and I'm kicking it open.
I open it and the other one just flies.
Okay.
I think she actually opens it slowly and stays very quiet.
Okay. Harper reaches for the door handle to open it as Galaran's counting down that he's going to do something. And back down the tunnel, you hear Scout yelling Harper's name.
She stops and is like, "Scout?" And then she does the turnaround of,
You know, that took her longer than I thought it would.
Do I see her? Do I see her? Do I find them? Do I hear them?
I'm gonna start, Mal. I'll start running towards Scout. We have to get her quiet.
yeah. And I'm gonna go in.
I'm power running. Do I meet Galaran? Do I meet?
I say to Juniper, I'm like, just if I'm not out in a few minutes, just do
Oh my god! Do I hit
God,
Galaran?
are you going in there after I ran away? Shame on
Yes, she's going everywhere.
You're the one who turned and walked away.
you. Scout's
yes.
safety means the world to Galaran right now, so he's excited to see her and all that.
Oh my god!
Everyone hears Scout yelling. Galaran turns to go find Scout. Scout, you run into Galaran.
Full force, full body, as hard as I can.
I assume it's like a fatherly hug, if that's okay. Like
That's fine. You can wrap your arms around me, but she's gonna keep kicking you like, we gotta get Harper. Galaran, there's no time. We have to get Harper. No.
And
Galaran, I went to the future. He's about to get killed.
Harper looks at Juniper and says, "If I'm not back in a few minutes," and then enters the room. That's what I'm understanding is all going on.
Juniper says, "Fuck that noise," and follows Harper.
Good for you, Juniper.
God!
That's the
She's
moment.
like, you got this, Juniper.
You don't take those stupid instructions from everybody.
If anything,
I am
Harper
learning to
holds
stand up
out.
for myself, and I'm going into that room.
If anything, Harper holds out a hand and is just like, come on then.
Right.
Okay. You both walk into the room. There's this... ominous isn't the right word I want, but there's this heavy presence in the room, and it physically takes up the room like a shadow. And Harper, your father is sitting on a small wooden chair at the back of this room. And as the door opens and the pair of you enters, Xander stands up. He's wearing the clothes you last saw him in. But as he stands, his body doesn't move right. Not that something's wrong, but more of like he's been injured in such a way that things didn't heal. Like moving is difficult. And he stands a little less straight. There's a couple, unlike most of the tunnel system, there's a couple of torches in here, but with this large shadow, it still feels dim. And a small smile comes over his face. I knew you'd come.
Oh wait, I'm not muted. Hold on. Sorry.
As someone who's not emotionally invested, can I look beyond the touching daddy scene and look at other creepy things?
Sure. What are you trying to look for?
Like, are there any shackles on his wrist? Is he being held? Does he look chill? Does he live here? You know, just what is the rest of the situation other than I knew you'd come?
He does not appear to be imprisoned in any way that you can tell.
Harper is literally, she's not letting Juniper walk any further into the room, but Harper's not walking any further into the room. She's like, we stay at the back. And Harper doesn't say anything. She just looks at him. It's more that she's just trying to take it in.
I figured maybe Harper and Xander are focused on each other. It's a good time to see what else is happening.
I will say, Juniper, as you're trying to take all these details in, you do notice along the edges of the wall on either side, those masks. They're not hung on anything, but they're also not being worn by anything, but they're almost affixed to the wall.
Great. I'm just gonna squeeze Harper's hand a little and just give a little head nod to the walls.
I feel like Harper would have actually noticed, because at the moment there's no like, oh my god, daddy, like she's just like, where the fuck have you been?
Yeah.
It's not a
As you both notice this then, and Harper, you don't respond, he takes a step forward. It appears to be very pained. I'm sorry I couldn't come find you.
And I think Harper steps back and puts like a hand out in front of Juniper. And she's still quiet. She doesn't know if this is her dad. It's been a very long time. Like, she's wearing his coat that she found left behind. She's wearing his satchel and everything, so...
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
How dark is this room? Is it just dim?
It's dim, like if you go into, a lounge where they've set the mood lighting, kind of.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to ruin the atmosphere by casting light and see if there's anything more
Do it.
interesting in light. So I'm gonna cast light.
Okay. Does it have to be cast on anything, or do you just...
Yes, I will cast it on my dagger, which I will hold out in a non-threatening way, but more like a lantern.
So rather than like maybe blade out, it's just blade up so that it's illuminating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most effective for my light spell. I don't like it when things hide in shadows.
You can definitely see that the light is very bright, but it doesn't push back this shadow at all. And in fact, it's almost like this shadow starts to eat the light, to absorb the light.
Harper, did your dad always do this? Just like a little family party trick?
And she sort of almost, it's like she doesn't hear Juniper. She looks at her dad and she's just like, what is happening? What is this?
I hate to ask this, Harper, but we need your help.
No.
Good answer.
20 years you let me believe you were dead. 20. I was 9 on my own.
He looks sad and he rubs at his head. 20 years? No, it's only been a year, 2 years?
Still, it's long enough, if that's what you think.
She look like it's been...
I was gonna say, do I look like 11?
Does she look like an 11-year-old? What's wrong with you?
I'm screaming. I'm literally screaming. Like, there are people in this house besides me. I'm fucking screaming.
One hand behind her back, also readying a spell in case Daddy gets playful.
That's kind of, I think probably Juniper would feel it, but no one else. But she's let go of Juniper's hand because they're heating up.
Yeah, you can, if you're pretty sensitive to magic, you can feel a little wave coming off of Juniper as well.
I think Xander looks confused and he tries to find what to say, and he actually looks at this shadow, which is awkward because it fills the room. There's no one place to look at. And from within the shadow, a pair of red eyes appears, and the shape of a face appears. A face very similar to Sunny, except larger.
No! 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 No!
And
If Harper sees that, she's actually gonna... She knows, because she's spoken to Sunny, she knows what it is. She immediately opens the door and pulls both Juniper and herself out and closes it again. She doesn't care who that is in the room.
Okay.
Juniper will scramble with her.
Okay. I think that the door opens back up. The two of you rush out, not taking your eyes off of what's going on. The doors close, and Scout's yelling, probably.
I'm like screaming. Like, the second I go into Galran's arms, I'm like, Harper's gonna die. There's a monster that's gonna steal her face and body. She's in trouble. She's in trouble. She's stronger than all of us. I went into the future and I saw everyone die. There were 3 skeletons in a basket in the sky. It was awful. Ah!
Scout, breathe.
There were 3 skeletons in a basket in the sky. Harper's looking at she can hear Scout, but she's looking at Juniper like, no.
Do I see Do I see Harper now? Do I see her?
Yeah, Mal, we would have ran up. I would have given her, I just let's say it's good that you're safe, and then we would have just kept running. And she's screaming and throwing.
I'm gonna power crash.
So where have you been? How are things? What did you do?
Yeah, so the two of you reach.
What's the weather like?
Galaran and Scout reach that spot at the same time the doors reclose and they've stepped back out.
Scout's gonna run up to Harper and get really close to her and go, "You have a boyfriend. You have a boyfriend. You have a boyfriend."
How many times have we been over this? Like, she literally forgets the door there, and she sort of leans down towards Scout. She gives her a hug and is like, I'm glad you're okay, though.
No, you have to answer this. Who's your boyfriend? Tell me now.
I don't have a boyfriend.
But you know. You have to know. You know who I'm talking about. Say it.
No. She's like getting frustrated.
And she's gonna kind of reach over. Harper's not much taller. She's gonna pinch Harper's cheek. Has the monster still in your face yet?
And again, there's a pause. She looks towards Juniper and Galaran, but then looks back at, no.
So I went into the future, I guess. I met a lady named Ivo, and she was very pretty with blue hair. But I was walking down the city, but it was all dark and there were no more people left. But you were there, but you were different. And something with red eyes and a big scary smile had stolen your body because you're really strong and they're using it to take your body.
Oh, that thing's in there. Like, just gestures towards the door. It's like, yeah, the big smile and the red eyes, that's in there. With my
And she looks at the door like, what the fuck? Like,
Juniper hasn't stopped looking at that door.
Harper's probably weirdly calm. Like, you know when it's like the angry, but like the weird calm, not actually reacting.
What happened when you were in the room? What just happened?
My dad's in there along with a big shadow that has red eyes and a big smile, very much like Scout.
And what did you deduce was happening between them? What did they want? What did your father say?
He wanted my help and I said no.
That's all. That's the only significance you remember of your conversation.
He seems to think he left me 2 years ago.
Also, there were a lot of masks, but they weren't being worn by people, but they also weren't mounted on anything. They were just there. And when I tried to cast light, the shadows were eating my light.
Did he move funny, your dad? Did he move different than you remember, or talk a little different than you remember? Like he remembered things, but he didn't remember things?
Well, he thought it was 2 years later and not 20 years later.
She nods slowly. It's like, he looked hurt.
Mal, Galaran starts dusting off his clothes, buttoning all the buttons, dressing himself up a little bit, wiping the dirt off his face, pulling his hair back, just breathing as he's doing this. Looks a little bit more proper. Looks maybe like he just went backwards in age 5 years. Breathes, looks at the three ladies and goes, "Let's go make introductions to the shadow." And I open the door.
I just nudge Harper and say, "Oh, your boyfriend cleans up nicely."
Scout's gonna like shake her hand. Scout's like shaking her hands. They're stealing bodies, Harper. Your dad's body was probably stolen. What if they kill you and steal your body?
She sort of holds
I would assume if they wanted to do that, Scout, they would have done so. They asked for her help. They didn't command it. They didn't trick her. They asked. They need her. Let's go.
That was her dad, though. The guy with the red eyes didn't say anything. He just creeped us out.
Scout's gonna hook her arm around Harper really tightly. She's not gonna let her go.
I walk in the room now.
Okay.
Harper stays with Scout. She does look towards Galaran, almost like I should go, but she looked at Scout.
Juniper's grabbing your other hand. No, Juniper's grabbing her other hand, Harper's hand, and pulling her after Galaran. We were not splitting up. We are not splitting up again.
Steal her body. They're gonna steal her body.
Scout, tell me where the donkey went after this.
They're safe in a house.
Harper looks at Scout and she's like, "Anytime you want to leave that room, you tell me and we walk out." And she holds out her hand.
And she takes it and she's squeezing it with both of her hands really tightly. And when she
like, hold on tight, and what was the rule?
When you say run, run.
She nods.
All right. Galaran opens the door and steps in, and shortly after everyone else steps in behind him, Galaran, you see how old was your dad, Harper?
If I'm about 28 now, he must be about coming up to 50 something.
How old was he when he disappeared?
Harper would not actually know. She was like 9. Does not like see it.
Everyone's old when you're 9.
Everyone's
Yeah.
old when you're 9.
You can see the resemblance though in his face and Harper's face, and he stands as if pained, and the group of you come back in, Galaran with you in the front, and he goes, "Oh, the knight."
Who says this? Her father?
Yeah.
Your loving father. I'll just walk over to the wall where the masks are and just slowly be like, so, do we have introductions first? Do we start talking? And then I reach out and grab one of the masks and crush it. You first. And I'll start walking to the next one like I'm going to crush the next mask.
Well, if you
We'll
want
have to
introductions, my name's Xander.
Well, you seem to know who I am, Xander. Now, what are we doing here? Overthrowing the city, overthrowing the world, colluding with evil dragon, crushes another mask. She makes us with the next one.
Oh, Galaran, you're too badass. I'm getting sweaty. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting anxious.
Oh, nervous. Yeah.
Ah!
It's all that extra condition bonus I gave him.
Oh, you may know badass and it's making me nervous.
I
Can't open a
regret
door, but
nothing.
can crush your mask.
I regret nothing. So if does Xander believe his own bullshit?
Are you asking him this? Excuse me,
No,
sir.
I'm asking. Excuse me, Harper's dad. Do you believe the crap you're spewing? No. Mel, does he look like he's genuinely confused about time and introductions, or?
Yes, he looks.
Does he look dead?
Harper pulls Scout behind her.
Hey, mister,
Are
you
you
dead?
He
Hey, mister, are you dead?
Actually,
does-
Scout's gonna
he-
ask that. Did you
he
die?
looks
Scout?
confused. He looks
Broken?
as if, yeah, he looks a little broken. He looks as if he's not all there anymore.
Scout's gonna look at Harper. Harper, he doesn't look like a man who was alive for a while.
Just, I know.
And she like looks around and she like stomps her foot. Where's that nasty smile jerk face at? And she's
She
peering.
says that Juniper has that spell already again.
So Xander hasn't moved from wherever he stopped walking, and Scout, it's obvious as you say that you see the eyes in the darkness, and every so often you can see like the shape of a muzzle and the smile.
When she sees it, she's gonna look pointedly at him.
Do they care that Galaran is crushing masks? Seeing with
I'm kind of talking the whole time. So as this is happening, I keep asking questions like, what are we doing here? And then like, well, Xander, what do you think about the last, X years without your daughter? You need to remember. And he keeps crushing the mask.
Galaran,
Yes.
this man is a... And she looks at Harper before she says it.
Harper's just...
This man isn't alive. He was dead and now he's alive. And then she kind of points with her free hand at the smile. That's the scary dragon monster. He did it. He's gonna steal Harper's face. I know it. And she like looks at it and points with a glare.
Oh, is that what you need her help for? You need her face, crushes another mask. Please, if you want your daughter's help after not being in her life for 12 years, perhaps you should give a better explanation. Crush another mask.
Xander looks confused for a moment because everyone's doing and saying things. Galaran's asking questions, scouts yelling.
Yelling at dragons.
Yep.
Did I ever meet him? Like, I never knew what Harper's father looked like, but when he addressed me as the knight, he knew about my past. Have I ever met him before? Does he? I'm like, oh, that's your dad, Wizard fucking John.
Wizard fucking John.
Wizard fucking Xander. Man.
First he's called Xander.
I don't think you ever met. I think if he knows who you are, it's because of the things that have been happening recently. But he looks at all of you, and he looks at Galaran because Galaran's asking all these questions. When the familiars fought all those years ago, they imprisoned him. He needs a physical form. He brought me back, but I'm not enough.
And I think Harper not steps forward so that she's in front of Galaran or anything. She's like, so you're very happy to have your daughter be your replacement? Is that what you're saying?
And Scout like takes her hand even tighter, like as she moves forward, like no.
Yeah, it's literally like a step, but she's like, okay.
Hard squeeze with both hands. She like takes her little hands.
So you want your daughter to take the place? Is that what this is?
Galaran adds, that's pretty harsh, man. Crushes another mask.
From the back row here, when you say he needs a physical form, would that be something he needs to take over the world again? Because I might have an issue with that. I live here.
And Harper, again, just like, and that is how I know you're not my dad. Because he wouldn't do that. He would have told me to run.
You have hundreds of beings in this city, and yet you call for Hopper to come here. So what is it? The blood? Heritage? Why Hopper? Crush another mask. I'm just gonna keep crushing masks until it goes up.
It's a good
like that angry child in IKEA.
Me in a Target when I just like kick things out of frustration.
So Galaran's crushing masks. Juniper is asking about taking over the world. Harper says, I know you're not my dad, because he wouldn't have said that. He would have said run. And you see the grin of the Dark One behind him stretch wider and wider. And as you watch, Xander's body starts to decay and falls to the floor. And that's where we'll end today's episode.
I was right, Dad. It was dead.
Oh, I was about to do something now. Why did you end it there? I had a great comeback to that. Next week.
It'll be a great opener next week.
That was awesome. Thank
At
you.
least he's dead again.
Hands are wet. I'm sweaty.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I can't believe that we've got the finale next week. That's ridiculous how quickly that's come around. Otherwise, please check out the links that are coming up in chat now. That includes a link to the Discord, where we have a channel for this game. We would love to hear what you think. Also, if you've missed out on anything, head over to YouTube and you can catch up over there. And if you want to get into a game, drop Scrat a DM on Twitter. Also, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Hero Forge, that do the wonderful minis, and that, as I said, their Kickstarter currently is for the colored minis as well, and it's all just so amazing. Also, Mayhem Press that created D&D in space effectively, so please go check out their Dark Matter, and also the Deck of Many, with the Deck of Many things, the moving magic spell cards, and wholesome Humblewood. So please go check them out. until next week, we'll see you then. Keep evoking emotions. Bye.
Okay, chat, don't go anywhere. Between the shows today, I'm gonna be coming back and playing some games. I'm feeling playing a little bit more Oblivion. We'll carry on doing those Thieves Guild quests. But before we do that, we're gonna take a quick break, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be back. So, see you in a second. Tiffany, indeed. Oh my God, Tiffany takes on Tamriel. See you shortly.